You're welcome back, and G with the gist is here with me. Hello, G.
Hello, Rapso. So it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. So what's popping on the entertainment
Okay,
front?
so let's start with this sad news. Okay, we've been talking about it all this week. You know that dancehall artist Cheche was on Showbiz A to Z with Nana Texan on Saturday, and he passed on Tuesday. Yes. And so he's tried, you know, to share his sentiments about what he feels about the news in a 30-second video.
And Nana Texan, I just sit with him just this Saturday for Joy FM after, you know, me talking on before.
She doesn't like the one.
Oh, she doesn't. Wow.
Biggest she doesn't like. She's like, nah, I like that.
Exactly.
I see.
Gama shipon gama noni.
Okay. I like the advice.
Okay, so that's a very short video of what Cheche could say about the news. And the latter part of the video you heard on Showbiz A to Z when Nana Texan tried to make a submission about how he felt about Cheche. He said that this guy right here is one of our biggest exports, and Nashoko said one of all our. And then she said that Gamashipon Gamanoni, because it means that we are in Accra, and Accra belongs to the Gans, and Charles Nyama Mensah is Gans. So he had to rephrase to, you know, suit them, and that's Cheche trying to tell us how he feels about that. Now, away from that, and now we know that on Tuesday there'll be a one-week sit-in in honor of the memory of the late Nana Texan. Okay, now we can talk about the Tehila experience, which is happening this weekend. The annual experience brought to us by Ohima Mercy is scheduled for the 12th of August at the Calvary Temple of the International Central Gospel Church, and her guest artist Juanita Bynum is in town. She arrived last night, and she's been speaking. She won't speak to the media exclusively, but she passed some comments when she arrived at the Kotoka International Airport.
It's very difficult to bring me to Africa because I think the enemy knows what I carry for this country. Ready to do something that is unbelievable. Thank you. Thank you. Right behind me, okay? Yes.
Oh, I just saw the car. It's been branded Tehila. Wow. They're not playing.
Not at all. Not at all. So it's an experience that one will want to have on Sunday. And Juanita told Ohima Mercy in one of the videos I watched that, you know, it's always, she must have been very prayerful because it's always difficult for her to come to Africa. She gets a lot of attacks anytime she's invited to Africa. So she must have been prayerful to have had a success with her coming to Africa. So we hope to see what the experience brings on Sunday. Now, okay, let's talk about Gspot and Beverly Afaglo-Ban, who is wife of choir master, member of the prayer group, has been talking about sex and intimacy with us, and how sometimes when she's not in the mood and the husband says, let's do it, she needs to talk him
out of it.
Exactly.
Women cannot have sex with men
without being intimate.
Without being intimate. Like, we wouldn't have prostitutes. They don't get intimate. They just go down because they have to. And it happens. A lot of women are out there who don't get intimate with men because they have to do it for whatever reason.
Do you think that there can be intimacy without sex?
Yes, I think so. But in most cases, it ends up with sex because when that closeness comes where you bear yourselves, it becomes quite difficult, especially when it's the opposite sex. It becomes quite difficult. In marriage, it's very funny. We've been taught that women, you don't ever have to say no to your husband. So there are times that you are not in the mood, but you just have to do it. That's what I've grown to understand. There are times that you have a nicer way of sleeping off, but not to say no, not to say no, but just have a nice way of sleeping off. So if it's just about that, then you can cuddle, you can kiss, you can have a long chat. Before you know it, both of us, you're gone. So, and that long chat brings out a whole lot of things and brings closeness. Sometimes you actually discuss your problems and support each other on what you people are going through, and it brings that closeness.
What's your favorite body part and why?
It used to be my boobs. Oh God, I love my boobs. Then the kids took it away.
Oh.
So I think I love my ass.
Oh, really? Okay, so that's Beverly Afagluba. But it amazes you what this young artist called Don Ichi had to say about men and sex. He says the ultimate for every man who proposes to a woman is sex. I'm surprised.
I think sex is the ultimate in a relationship. Like, if a man says, I love you, and I've come to realize that most ladies have funny reasons for liking men. A lady can like a man because he's tall, because he's hairy, because he does this or that. We men are, most men go with the motive, like most men be like, oh, Charlie, this girl, they feel me. And the moment the girl, they feel men will capitalize, unlike ladies. If you were saying yes to any man that approaches you, it would have been a disaster for you.
So for men, they can't be bothered about intimacy.
Men don't really care about, that's how come a man goes to the club and then gets a lady. That moment, hey, I love you, I want to have an affair with you, and then that night it happens.
Okay. Obviously, I don't think he speaks for all men, though.
A lot of men won't be excited.
Exactly.
But majority of men might find themselves in this space,
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so quickly before I go, Cheche was on the BBC Focus on Africa, and she's a Nigerian artist who frequents Ghana.
Okay.
And she's been talking about her music so far.
Lines across the continent. Born in London and educated in Nigeria, Cheche is one of Africa's top musicians.
I'm experimenting with Afro salsa, I'm experimenting with reggae.
I just think about my life.
Everything, house, grime, whatever it is.
And she's at What's New HQ to tell us all about her journey. What is happening out here?
I don't understand, but I knew it was going to happen. In fact, before my mom died some years ago, she said to me, Shei, this music that you're doing here in London is nice, it's good, but it's going to be hard for you. Why don't you go home to Nigeria and do music? I think that's really where you're going to, become something. And I said, no, Mom, I'm not going to. What am I going to Nigeria to do?
Nobody wanna be your friend when it's pizza.
But Shei's mum was right. Shei is a perfect example of someone who went back to their roots, and it really paid off.
After all these storms I don't go through,
I flew out to Nigeria, and all of a sudden, I teamed up with the right influential people in the Nigerian music industry. Within the first year, I was supporting people like Rick Ross, Chris Brown, when they flew into Nigeria to do concerts, and I was always the first up to support these acts.
Incredible.
And so that's how I got my name out there.
Shei's journey to stardom still took years, but on her journey, she got to perform with the superstar.
I was in this girl group called From Above for some years after that. Toured with Beyonce, supported her I Am tour. We left the UK to go to America.
Wow.
And we trained in America. Sadly, we broke up.
Oh no.
From there, and I've been really just going as Shei, this kind of British Nigerian artist ever since then, like 5 years now. The best thing is I love my job.
Yeah.
I love my job. I love what I do. I love my team. And I'm part of the people that are flying the flag for Afrobeats globally. So I'm happy about this.
All right, so
yeah.
we love her too.
Yeah,
Cheche.
clearly there's a lot of good in returning to the motherland.
You understand that
Yes,
because
yes.
you know that's where you can really speak
Those
to the
are your
people.
roots.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you know what you're going through. Anyway, thanks for having me, Yoruba.
All right,
and
Miss G.
I'm looking forward to an eventful weekend.
Definitely, me
Yeah.
too. After all that's happened over the week.
Oh.
All right, many thanks, Miss G, and stay with us. Let's get a recap of our headlines next.